Ciliann. Welcome to my art channel. In this video, I'll show you how to draw an easy, step-by-step picture of a golden retriever dog. Enjoy! Here we'll make a golden retriever, a favorite pet of many people. So when you look at the picture of the dog that you're trying to copy, try to see what are the main shapes that you see that you can put in as the basic outline. So I chose a hexagon for the head, triangles for the ears, and a sort of half diamond for the neck, an interesting kind of pentagon or hexagon for the front and for the back, and two lines connecting in the middle, and the legs were basically just rectangular. The back legs have a sort of hexagon and then lines going straight down, and the tail of course is curved. Now as you're working on the face, you should note that the nose should not look flat. It should look three-dimensional, so you need to make lines going towards the back of the head of for the top of the nose, and on the front part of the face for the front side of the nose. Now as you're doing the fur, so what works very well so that you don't get confused about which part you're up to and you lose your outline is each section that you want to color with your lightest colors, which are around like a grayish white or a very light brown. So erase just that portion and then go over with your colored pencil and put in the furry lines, the long lines for a very furry area or shorter lines for a less furry area. But work one section at a time. Just erase the portion that you're working on and fill it in with the pencil as you go along. So under the belly there's a lot of long hair, and as well as the tail, and those are in general, they are lighter hairs. Golden Retriever can be a very, very light colored dog. Some are a little bit more reddish, but there are some that are almost white. So the top of the tail has more color, but the underside of the tail, where there's a lot of long fur, is very light. And you show the long hairs by using a light color of gray. And put in short fur all over, not very short, medium-sized strands all over the body, the back, and the back of the front legs. And the ears are fuzzy. Now the nose, as I said before, some of it is going towards the back of the head and some part is the front. And there are two nostrils that you'll notice, so you should leave those as circular. And the eyes in general are pretty dark when you're looking from this distance. If you were to be doing a closer portrait, so then you would see the many different shades of brown inside their eyes. But from a distance they look black, and the nose in general looks black. And there's a space between the nose and the mouth that is darkened, has a dark pigment also. And the tongue is a nice rosy pink, but it is overshadowed by the upper jaw, so part of it needs to be shaded in dark. Now if you're looking at a front view of a golden retriever, so the head, when the mouth is open, you can divide it basically into 4 equal parts, starting from the top of the head, and make 4 equally spaced lines at each interval there's something. The first line ends by the eyes, the second one by the nose, the third underneath the upper jaw, and the fourth at the end of the tongue. And that will give you an even spacing of how big the head should be in comparison to the rest of the body. If you take that measurement and double it plus a bit, you'll get the upper torso, and then a similar proportion for the lower half of the body, from the where the legs are showing, sitting next to the front legs, all the way down to the bottom. And once again, working one section at a time, erase as needed and add in with your colored pencils. Pencils do not erase. Once you color over them, they won't erase afterwards, so it's best to just take away the pencil markings that are your construction lines before you add the color, instead of just adding the color on top of it, and then it will look like it has an outline when you want it to look more natural. So this time the dog is a darker colored one, but I still started off with lighter colored fur, because even some parts of the darker dogs are light colored. Not all of the fur is so dark. Here we have again the rosy tongue. Very friendly dog, often sticking out its tongue. And since the ears are facing forward, so there is a slight curve, and the front of them is shinier than the sides of them. The sides are in the shadow, and the front edge that is curved towards the front will leave lighter. I'll make marks for the eyebrows, or rather the muscle that is above their eye, and the cheeks. Try to show 3 dimensions by putting lines going gradually back from the nose towards the eyes, short lines. And underneath the head there is darker fur, since that is overshadowed by the head. The area of the neck is darker. And working with different colors of brown, a light golden brown. Layer the fur, one layer of short lines after the next. The very center is darker, towards the bottom it has a very shadowy gray appearance. And here I'm doing the front legs, which are in general smooth towards the front but furry at the sides. And the paws. Then you can show a few toes and toenails. And just take note of the direction that the fur is growing, so that if your dog is sitting, some of the fur will appear to be upwards, since on that part of the body is facing upwards. So just make sure that you draw your fur growing in the right direction. Now I made a little shadow on the bottom, just so it doesn't look like he's sitting on the air. I'm using black for the nose once again. Draw 2 circles just right next to each other for the nostrils, and sort of join it at the bottom and on top to give the 3D appearance of the nose as it is. And I also used black for the eyes and the area between the nose and mouth. That is dark. Now there is part of the mouth, a sort of black line running from cheek to cheek, and it goes under the tongue, and I suppose it's also on top, but we're looking at the dog from above, so we only see it on the lower jaw, a thick black line. And just make sure that the mouth looks like it's smiling, since it's a happy, friendly dog. And just emphasize the parts that are darker with a darker color or with more pressure from the pencil, and the lighter colors leave lighter. Touch up here and there, and your dog is ready to wag his tail. But this time the tail is hiding. Thanks for watching.